Hello everybody, this is Deep Cosmic Space Wizard bringing you guys another collective tarot card reading for the day. And for the day I pulled the card Belonging. It's yet again another depiction of Ganesha riding a mouse. Somehow Ganesha manages to ride a mouse even though he's an elephant. Alright, so it says belonging. Learn to find security from within. In this card, Ganesha uses the mouse as his vehicle, which signifies his triumph over the ego. In Hindu mythology, the mouse symbolizes the ego, for the ego can eat away at all that is good and decent in a person. Belonging seeks to solve the predicament of the ego's own perceived separation. Since the ego has no conscious memory of its connection to others and to Source, you experience a need to get out of seclusion by bonding with the people around you. These people can be your family, peer groups, or your community. The ego is neither good nor bad, but simply a necessary part of you in this existence. The ego can manifest inclinations that are either more positive or more negative in nature. There are many positive aspects to belonging. You develop your ability to love, connect, bond, share, and care for others. You see yourself more clearly through the mirror of relationship. It is important in belonging that you not try to seek approval through others. Through this card, Ganesha is here to help you focus on the positive feelings from being a part of a community. Learn to trust, ask for help, and to rely on others. Okay, so let's start with the ego first. So your ego is your view of yourself, or how you identify yourself. It's the idea of yourself, basically. And the reason why the ego can be bad is because of pride, basically, like over self-importance or superiority or inferiority complexes, feeling like you're entitled to things. The ego can be greedy. The ego can be loving though too. The ego is just, the ego changes all the time because it's how we see ourselves. When we're heavily identified with our ego, something somebody says about us can really, quote unquote, hurt your ego. Like if you feel like you're, there's lots of examples. Like if you think like, you're the best at something, and then someone like is better, someone beats you at whatever that is, then, your idea of yourself is going to change, and that can potentially be painful to the ego. To not be what it sees itself as. This could cause defensiveness, etc., etc. The ego can spin out and play out into a myriad of infinite possible ways. And with Ganesha riding on top of his mouse, he has conquered his ego. So he's in control of his ego. His ego's not going to truly affect him. A lot of times our egos are so part of our identity that it can really actually kind of like take over and affect us, into like a reactionary state of being. But yeah, so it also talks about how the ego forgets, that it is a part of everything, and that it is one with the source. Thinks it's separate. In this illusion of separateness, we develop a feeling of needing social interaction. And this is normal, this is part of life, that we're experiencing life through the ego, to experience the separateness, or, individuals, because we are different, we are unique, and we are our ego to on one level. So it is important to honor these aspects, but to try to cultivate the positive ones, and to not let the negative ones overempower us. The need for connection is natural and fine, because this card is actually asking us to trust and to open up and to be okay with connecting and feeling like we belong. And it's also, the card also kind of brings up giving yourself the feeling of like you do belong, like if you feel like you don't belong, or you feel like you don't fit in, this card is maybe asking you to try to shift that perspective, and really shifting into a more belonging kind of energy, like you belong, like I feel like we belong in this universe, like we belong, we are home here, we are home wherever we are, because we belong, we all belong. And the card is just kind of asking us to feel that belonging of our own initial right, as conscious beings. We just naturally belong here. And to not seek approval from others. This is important, for developing self-worth. When we're seeking approval from others, we're, in a sense, kind of, almost like, I don't want to say relying on another perspective or another person to tell us our worth. But we are asking for outside validation, and this can cause us to shift to what other people want of us, and then we start ignoring our real selves. And if you learn to just, if you learn that way of being what other people want you to be, because you've learned to kind of adapt, then you're not bringing out who you really are, and you're not truly belonging, because you're still doing what other people want, so you feel like you belong. If this is the case, if you are doing what other people want you to do in order to belong, the card is asking you to just be yourself. Learn to have your own validation within your own self, and that way you can be more authentic, and you're not always going to give your true self away to others. yeah, find your soul tribe, find your family, find the ones that love you for who you are, and love yourself for who you are. And yeah, we all belong in this universe, and we're all magical beings. I love all you souls. Peace, love, bliss, joy, abundance, success, prosperity, gratitude, and namaste.